I feel like there's
Mm.
like so
Well,
much information that I packed into this masterclass. So
maybe
imme
we'll need a part two.
there might have to be part two. Like I'm immediately thinking that, but I'm excited.
Well,
Yeah, I feel like you can build off Canva, and with all the changes that happen on all of these platforms, I'm sure you could do a part two just on updates in a bit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, the good news is we did this at a good time because they just did their like annual like big update of adding features and stuff. I'm such a nerd. I'm like literally it was on my calendar. Like I will be sat at my computer watching live when they like
See, I knew
unveil.
you would. I wasn't gonna do it. That's why I'm waiting for this download.
Yes.
I'm
Abs-
so I'm so excited. I just started doing it. I literally this weekend was like, I'm gonna start doing videos. I did content on Saturday and I did 10 videos. No, one,
Amazing.
no, one turned out right.
That
And
happens
then
all
I
the
was so
time.
exhausted from doing videos. I go, how do people do this?
And
I
There's
you
like
a
can't,
lot of
I'm annoyed.
practice.
I can't stand the sound of my voice after like that all day. I was like,
Sometimes you just gotta not even
my
watch it.
God.
you have to power through it. You have to power through that because it's hard. You can't edit and like not be listening.
Yeah.
But I just
Ah.
I'm like rambling on and then my graphic designer's like, Sarah, 10 minutes? I was like, oh God, I just am like, but I like to do fashion ads and then I found this like app where I can like take my face and put it on. And then I was like, oh, delete the Harper's Bazaar. Like I'll get charged. But I do an old one from like 2014 so no one will know.
oh my gosh, I love
That's
that.
funny.
That's
Then I,
creative.
no, and then I was like, well, we'll make my body look fatter so it looks like a little like realistic.
I
Yeah,
love it. Well,
see
I
what
will say,
I'll do
I
this week.
I don't go super into like video editing, but we totally can like, play around with some examples. But I'll tell you right now, I would use CapCut for video editing over
Canva's not
I
the best.
have it. I have it on my phone.
you need CapCut. And that can be a whole other, like, obviously you can reach out to me
Yeah.
and like I'm more than happy to help you. But CapCut for video editing is just, it's elite.
She
There's
was going to
nothing.
come on today. She's in Alabama and I invited her for this group because she has her own graphic design company. Yeah,
Okay.
but she said she'll just watch your thing later. I don't know if she'll come
Yes.
or not.
Well, definitely the recordings are always up on the
Yeah.
website at the end. So for sure. But we have a good amount of girls
Yeah,
here.
shall we get started?
Yeah.
Let me, let
I'll
me
keep
start
manning
volume.
the waiting room.
Okay. Thank you everybody for joining. We obviously have the lovely Giavanna Silva, co-founder Powerhouse Women, leading our call today, teaching us all the things about Canva. There's truly nobody better to do this. I've learned pretty much everything I know about Canva through Gia and has upped my marketing and socials tenfold. So you're all in for a treat tonight. And Gia, I'll let you take the floor.
Thanks, Marley girl. I'm so excited. This is like, if anyone knows me, I nerd out over this stuff. And my toxic trait is I make everything my business to like, I need to know everything. I need to know how to do all the things and like all the features. So I go over a lot in this. I'm going to try to be quick just so we can get through it, but I want this to be like interactive. Canva is a very visual, you're creating. It's a very visual experience. So if you guys want to see examples, there's a few slides where I'm definitely going to take you through some examples in real time, but raise your hand or like just take your mic off. Like this is a safe space, and I want everybody walking away from this feeling like I'm gonna go conquer the world and like elevate my brand and all my marketing and all the things. So
Feel free to write in the chat too, and I can ask Gia the questions.
absolutely. Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
So this is just a little overview of what we are going to get into. So I'm going to give you a quick intro to Canva. I feel like since you're all here, you probably all know what Canva is, have used it for something, or have at least like played around with it. We're going to go through the Canva suite. So basically, not every single feature that it offers, but a lot of them. Just general designing tips, some things that I use all the time when it comes to designing for social media, for your brand assets, and everything in between. Exporting and sizing was a really big one. So we're going to go through exporting and sizing. And then at the end, we'll have plenty of time for additional questions if you haven't had a chance to ask any questions. And I do have a couple of resources prepared for you guys. So stay tuned to the end. If you can't stay tuned to the end, don't worry. The recording will be up on the website, and you guys will all get an email with the recording once it is ready. So really quickly, I am, as Marley said, a Greater Boston real estate agent, which I more so look at that as I'm a businesswoman and an entrepreneur who just happens to be in the business of real estate. I co-founded Power Haus Women with my four lovely co-hosts. I think they're all on here a few years back. I am an aficionado of all things marketing, branding, content creating, and for those of you that don't know, I've been content creating since 2017 when I thought I was going to be a bodybuilding like Fitspo. Yeah, I said that, bodybuilding. And I would bring my camera to the gym and record and like make fitness content. So we're not new to this, but we're always learning. And that's the beauty of creating and something like Canva because there's always things to learn. So Canva, in case you didn't know, is founded by a female, created and founded by a female. I actually read, I think it was a couple weeks ago, that it's like the most valued female founded company like ever to date, which is pretty incredible. It's built for creators, non-designers, growing teams. It replaces like all of the tools that you could ever possibly use to create content, and it does so in a very efficient way that helps you save time. There's like AI features that help you create faster, like work smarter, not harder. Because listen, there's no more hours in the day, and this stuff takes time. Like I'm sure you've, been creating something and like you get frustrated because it's taking you like half the day and it's not really what you want to be doing. Unless it is, but still, it gets to a point where you want to like speed up the process. So it does a lot to help supercharge your workflows. These are just some like really big brands that maybe you didn't know use Canva for a lot of their marketing. Disney is actually a really big one that I didn't put on here, but they use Canva for like everything. And now when you look at all their stuff, you're probably going to start to be able to pick apart like, oh, I can see that that was made in Canva, which is really cool. Um, so we're going to start with the Canva dashboard. And again, am I going too fast? I just want to make sure because I just want to make sure we get through all of this, but just tell me to slow down and I'll slow down. The Canva dashboard, which you guys have probably all seen, your projects are all going to be found over in the left-hand side. You can browse through templates straight from the home screen. And something that you might not have played around with that is really helpful, especially in the interest of automating or streamlining your workflows, like we were just talking about, is your brand kit, which I'll show you guys in a second. But it basically enables you to put all of your brand colors, logos, fonts, things like that in your brand kit so they're easily accessible and so that Canva can create assets for you that are on brand. If you're ever interested in exploring what tools Canva offers, there's always going to be a little button up here that right now it looks like a gift. I think it used to look like something else like last year, but if you click on that, it will show you everything new that Canva has rolled out in the last, I mean, it was, I think, 2 months ago that they did their Canva Create. They do it every year. They roll out a ton of new features based on wishes, they call them. So you can write into Canva at any point and be like, I wish we had this. I wish you had that. And chances are they might bring it to life, which is really cool. So your brand kit, and this is a real actual screenshot of our Power Haus Women brand kit, is that spot where you found on the left-hand side of your dashboard where you can add your brand voice, your images, any graphics or icons. We don't really use graphics or icons, but you could add graphics and icons in here. Any of your stock images, so if you have lifestyle images or headshots or like team pictures, things like that, you can add them in here. And this really helps, especially if you work with teams or you collaborate at all with like a partner or anything. Um, where they all have access. The cool thing about this for anyone who has like a bigger business or works on a bigger team, if you are someone who is, for example, House of Giavanna is a company that I have. It's my real estate company. My fiance and I do business consulting. My fiance, I love him to death, but he is not a graphic designer. And sometimes he'll go in there and he'll like try to create something for his consulting side of the business, which is still House of Giavanna, and it's like got dragons on it and like it's not the right colors, and I'm just like no. So I can actually go in and change the settings to make it so that he, if I wanted to, could only use my fonts, my colors, the pictures that I upload. You can get really, really strict with it, but that just ensures that everything that anyone on your team is creating for your brand is on brand and cohesive, and it limits any jump scares when you're scrolling on social and you're like, who approved that? Not me. Next, I want to talk about Canva AI. So Canva AI is a newer integration that they came out with that has a bunch of different features. Basically, it's like ChatGPT and like all of the other like what's the other, Mid-Journey, like it's all of the apps that you could think of that are AI in one. So Magic Write is basically ChatGPT. Design for Me and Bulk Create is actually using AI to create designs for you. Draft a Doc, same thing. It's not going to draft a design. It's going to draft more of like a Google Doc, which a lot of people don't know. You can edit documents in PDFs in Canva. It's super helpful if you don't have something like Adobe that I think costs money to like edit PDFs. Big lifesaver for that. Canva Code is a new one that's actually incredible. And you can see down here, this is a screenshot in Canva. You would like click between these four, whether you wanted to draft a doc, create an image, or code for you. But the code for me, it's basically an AI coder. It's definitely a trial and error thing. It's a newer feature, but basically what you can do is I could go in and be like, create a Powerhouse Women app that enables our society members to log in, see all of our old master classes, have a little chat feature that they can, chat with each other, and it will literally code like 80,000 lines of code in minutes and give you like a functioning, like it's basic. You still kind of have to like bring it to the finish line. But it will code for you. Like my fiance made a game. He uploaded some screen recording videos of him like playing a video game, and he was like, make a game for me that like will basically like calculate the accuracy of my like shooting or something in whatever game, and it like coded it. It was like it's crazy. So you can really like create anything in Canva. Does anyone have questions about
I
like
do.
the AI? Go for it.
I do. So for like the design for me aspect or like create an image, like those types of things, graphics that you would put on social media, how specific do you have to get with those? And like, is it make like can you make it sure that it's using like all of your brand kit tools and all of
So
those
I
things?
believe you can if you already have, let me show you. We're gonna go. What do you want it to create? It can be for your brand, it can be for
For
Powerhouse.
me, make it like uh, I don't know, just listed. Create like a cool, unique, just listed post. Carousel post. That'd be cool.
There's a fashion ad of a girl on a carousel that looks like you.
Me?
I'll send it. Yeah. You should put your face on it and put it in. That's just something.
Oh, and it just pulled up those.
Yeah, so it just made
Oh,
it
that's so cool.
options.
And those
Uh,
look clean.
you can delete the images if you click on one. basically what you can do is like open it in the editor and then edit. So this isn't creating like the project, it's creating an image that you could put in a project. But it basically created like a postcard. Like you could print this as a postcard,
Yeah, you can.
mail it out, you just need another side to it.
Does anyone
But
else have an example sheet you'd want to see
yeah,
with
for an
your
image.
type of industry?
And there's different styles too. So you can like, depending on what kind of image you want to create,
Interesting. I'm gonna try this.
it's fun.
Yeah.
And then it gives you an opportunity, like you could do like a modern farmhouse with a,
Oh,
I
Geo asked, could you do something where you specifically ask it to use your branding, which is part of my question too.
actually don't know. You can add media, like you can add like a logo for it to include or something.
If you write like using my brand kit,
Let's see. Well, let's see.
and then like just having to adjust a few things instead of making a whole new template is so nice.
And then style. Let's see. Yeah, it makes it really easy to like tweak it and move forward.
So cool. And isn't that like,
So it's an AI generated image of the house.
but it's not your
No, but there are other things that you
copiers in and out though. You have everything in your
yeah,
toolkit.
it
Yeah.
gets it gets you pretty much like 80% of the way, depending on what you're trying to do, obviously.
Yeah.
Uh, that's like one of those things I could literally sit and just like create
I
images.
know. Now I'm gonna play around with it.
Bulk create is a really cool one that you can use to create assets, and I'll show you that. I have an example later on. That's a really cool one. But Canva AI is sick, and don't underestimate. Canva Code, this is just some more examples of things you can do with Canva Code, games, simulators, quizzes, flashcards, literally like anything. It's the sky is the limit, or your imagination is the limit, I should say. Canva websites are super slept on. I actually have my personal website on Canva, and they're really cool because not only are they fully customizable, you can work off of tons of templates, or you can create from scratch. You can optimize them for mobile. They have performance tracking, so it's not as robust as, say, the back end of a Squarespace website or a Wix website, where you can track every single little click and the source of every single visitor, but it does give you basic page views, traffic sources, um, number of visitors. And these numbers are low because I've actually not even launched this website yet. It's live, but I haven't told anyone about it. So you guys literally are getting a sneak peek right now. You can easily integrate your own domain, and they're honestly just like they're the best. Like, does anybody else here use them for anything? I'm so curious.
Ashley asked, is Canva's website free? I think it is with your membership, right?
Yes, I don't know if it's you can use it for free, but depending on if you have the pro membership or not, there are certain like aspects or certain fonts or like images that might not be available in the free version, but you can definitely make a website with the free version and publish it. If you don't have a domain, so for example, I have giavannasilva.com. I purchased that through GoDaddy. You can purchase it through Google. You can purchase it through Squarespace. As long as you own the domain, you can connect it to a Canva website and you can switch that out at any point in time. Um, I think I saw a question. What's the carrier, Wix or Figma? It's in Canva. It's all edited in Canva. So it basically looks like, let me see if I can show you. Let me see if I have it up because it's in my Canva account. Let's see. So this is what it looks like when you're editing it. So you click edit design and then it's all basically these are all different pages. If you see like the purple around the section, and then I just made like a little like it's all just Canva, like different font boxes or whatnot. And then everything that I want to be clickable, you just hyperlink it. You can add a link to an image or text. So I have this linked to home, my logo right here. Home is the top page. And if you look at my pages, you see how this one's labeled home right here? So that's how you can kind of link the navigation. So it's linking to the different page titles if they have a title.
These are more like it's kind of like a custom landing page that takes you to different sections of the page, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to get technical, because the only thing that this does not have is the ability to add different pages. So, like, you go to a website and you click on like the navigation bar and it brings you to like a different page within the website. You're still within the website, but it's like a not the home page, you know what I mean? You can't do this with a Canva website, but there is a loophole. We're always going to find the loophole. So if you see in where's my Canva website? In my website, if you scroll down to this section, I have like a little blurb of my bio. If you click read more, it brings you to an inner page on my website. It's branded the same, but it's just, the full bio. And all I did was I created two different Canva um, websites. I used my main one, I duplicated it, deleted all the pages I didn't need, and then I basically built out an inner page, and then I linked the about to that other Canva project, if that makes sense.
I
So
don't
I
know
have
what.
all in a folder. I know it's like a little bit confusing, but you see, so like this is like the main website. This is an about page. So this is a completely different Canva website. And all I'm doing is linking them to each other. So I'm building out the pages like separately, if that makes sense. Like, and then just linking them together. And when it's live, they function like an inner page. You just have to make
Oh,
sure that you're linking it back to like the main page so that it functions. You don't want people to like go to your about page or whatever the page is and get stuck there with no way back. So you
Because
have to make
for
sure
me, I need to do SEO, so I need to have like multiple.
pages.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I
Yeah.
don't. I cannot do it myself. Like,
Well, let me know if you need help. Or we'll
yes,
get to that. We'll get to
this is.
that.
I am very impressed.
I
Like, I was like, oh my God.
time in
Like,
Canva.
I guess. I was like, oh my God, who did this?
Tons and tons of time in Canva. And I will say, like, again,
You're a professional. They should, you need to be one of their sponsors.
I would
They
love that.
sponsor you.
Pay me. They totally should.
No, seriously, you should write to them.
I might.
You should start tagging them in every single thing and then on LinkedIn and stuff. And girl, you should get sponsored. I'm not kidding.
Manifest it for me, girl. I love that.
We need to do vision board as one of our things one time.
Yeah, for sure. We did a vision board party this year.
Already? I know I'm like it's already I know it's June, but
We'll do it again. We'll do it again, New Year's.
okay.
Bulk create. Okay, this is where you guys are all going to be like,
wait, G, someone said you could get sponsored by the Canva Create program.
Wait, you need to do this.
oh,
Wait, do it. We can all vote for you, and then I'll have like we'll just like
I love that.
no, I'm serious.
I'm
Like
gonna look
we should
into
really do
that.
this.
I'm gonna look into that. This tool, I literally just like learned how to do it for this masterclass because I figured it would be extremely helpful for all of you. It's called Bulk Create, and basically using a new tool that Canva offered that is called Sheets. It's basically Google Sheets but within Canva. You can now use it to exactly what it says, bulk create. So I actually have a little example to show you, like in real time. So I made this little content planner for you guys. And at the very end, there's a QR code with a template link. If anybody wants like a very simple content planner to make for themselves in Canva. And what I did is I put a few of our images, just our Powerhouse Women brand images in here. And something cool that you can do, I don't know if you can see, I already did it, but you can bulk background remove. So I put all the images in, I selected the whole column and I clicked background remover and it removed the backgrounds. Now I put a quote in the second column. And when I did this, I actually didn't even look up all these quotes or like type them myself. All I did was selected a bunch of cells, clicked actions, fill empty cells, and then it uses AI to detect what is in those cells that are already filled out, and it creates more for me. So I can click insert, and look, it just gave me a bunch more quotes that I could use for a quote post. Now, to actually bulk create, it's in the left-hand side of the navigation. You click bulk create, and then you have to select the columns that have the data or the images that you want to be in your asset suite. So I selected the image and the quote. You click continue, and then it's going to ask you what design do you want to bulk create in. So it's pulling all of my designs that are in the Powerhouse I'm in Canva right now, but I'm going to work off of this quote post that's already in this project. So I'm actually just going to search this project, Powerhouse I'm in content planner. Okay, now watch this. So we have this template, has a quote, and it has an image of a girl with the background removed. And all you have to do is you click on the quote, you click connect data, and then these are like the columns, if you will, that were on that Canvas sheet. So we click quote, we take the image, connect data, select the feature image. That was the first column that had all the images that we removed the background. And then you go create 25 designs. And then it literally goes and creates every single one for you.
That's crazy.
Mhm. Such a time saver. And of course, like you would have to go in and like, play around with the sizing. Look at those gorgeous girls. You'd play around with the sizing and like make sure that you're putting final tweaks, but it's doing all the heavy lifting for you. And you can use that for like invites or like creating quote assets or like literally anything. But you can just see it literally put a link to the Canva project in that column. So it's all linked right there.
Wow.
Pretty sick, right? And again, there is a template link for this at the end so that you can all use it, play around with it. Let me go back to my presentation. Any questions so far? Or should I slow down?
No, you're doing
Oh,
great.
this is perfect. I definitely want all
Oh,
the
yeah, I
time.
do have a question.
Ask away, my dear.
Hello, how are you first and foremost? That bulk create, did you have to first input all your images to that particular like brand folder and then it'll pull all of those images from like that brand folder? Is that what you just did and I missed it?
So I actually added them all like manually, if you will. Why is it freezing on me? Come on. Okay, here we go. So what I did is I pulled them all from the brand folder. Canva is literally like, what are we doing? This is a lot. Okay, here we go. So I pulled the images from the brand folder and all I did was kind of like drag them in to the column. You could also use it with the images, like the photos tab. So these aren't any of our images. These are images in Canva. So you can pull in whatever images you want. I don't know that there's a way to mass import images. There might be, but I haven't figured that. Oh, import data. If you had like all of the images in a Excel spreadsheet or something, you could upload it like that, like a CSV upload or something. But all I did for that was upload them one by one. I hope that answers your.
Thank you. Yes, it did. Thank you so much.
Of course. So Canva Print, I feel like is another extremely underestimated tool. We use Canva Print for so much at Power Haus Women. I know a lot of our realtors that we have in our mastermind group use it for a lot of their marketing assets. This is an example of a postcard that we had printed for our retreat last year, and it was just a little like note card that we put in all of the swag bags. The swag bags themselves, you can do tote bags in Canva. This is a little like tearaway like notepad that we customized. This is a new one. Magazines. You could never do like a magazine sort of product in Canva. They had like spiral bound like notebook type things or like um, a different kind of binding, but like not that like magazine. But now they have it. You have to have
Tried to
24.
do a magazine. You need to have like a specific amount of pages,
Yeah,
and you can only order a certain amount.
good to know.
Yeah. So
Order.
you order like I like it's not a crazy amount either. Like I think it's like under 20, I want to say, but I could be wrong. And then
Interesting.
so if you want to order more, you'd have to order it like multiple times, like separate
Interesting.
order.
At that rate, I would probably just export it into like a Zazzle or
Yeah.
like something like that to get as many as you need. But it is awesome that they offer it, and they offer so many different things that you can print your logo or your designs or whatever on. And it's really awesome. I love Canva print. It's kind of addicting. It's also free shipping. It's also free shipping, which is incredible.
Don't
Um,
they donate money to something too every time you ship?
they definitely do. I don't know what exactly. I should know this, but they definitely do. I created this little like design on this page because I wanted to show you. This kind of goes back to somebody's question earlier about like creating things on brand, depending on your brand guidelines, if you have them added in Canva. And something that you can do if you are just in a design and you go to brand or here, and then you see I have this is what it looks like within a design. So it puts everything right there so it's easy for you to access. But if you're like, I love this design, but I'm just like not like these are not Power Haus Women colors. These are like more my colors. But we could very easily, with the click of a button, shuffle the colors around and make it on brand and play around with different color weights. Very easy. It's so addicting to do
You
that.
learn something every day. I never knew that.
Right? I know, you just click shuffle. Another thing that is really cool is you can, if you click design, this is where you're going to be able to find templates. So these are all different templates for a presentation because we're in a presentation project. But you can click styles. So if you didn't want to do like brand colors, but you were like, I really like this. I mean, I don't know why you would, that's a lot. But you can play around with different, um, you can see it's changing the fonts too, because these are different like style sets. So it's different colors, different fonts. So you can really like play around with like if you're just feeling like I am not super creative right now, I just kind of want to throw around different ideas and see what we can come up with. The other really cool thing is layouts. So I'm going to go up to this page that we were just on. And if I click layouts, sometimes it doesn't do it. Okay, here we go. So layouts is basically going to give you a bunch of different generations of how you could lay the different assets out on a page. So if you're really just struggling with like placement and you're like, it looks weird, I don't know, you can come in here and literally it gives you every possible like layout. Match style to brand. It should already be doing that. Oh yeah, colors and fonts, see results. So I'm pretty sure it's going, see, it's changing all the colors so that now all the different layouts are on brand for Powerhouse Women. Really cool, right? Any questions about that before I keep trucking? All right. Mockups was a very highly requested topic. Mockups are the best. If you've never used a mockup, essentially what it is an image or a video that has a pre-designated area that you can upload your own assets into, whether it's a picture, a video, a logo, whatnot. And there are two ways now in Canva to do mockups. The first way is you come over on the right, you click apps. My Canva's being so, it's like never this slow. Okay, apps, and you're going to type in mockups. And it's this first one. There are others, but this one is Canva's mockup product. And when you click mockups, you're going to get a bunch of these types of images and videos, different categories, smartphones, videos, print material, apparel, and every single one of these is a mockup that you can easily take your media. Where's my brand kit? So I could take this lovely picture of Katie and put her on a mural outside, just like that. I could take this image of Morgan talking at our masterclass panel at the retreat and upload it to this video. Videos take a second. Oh my gosh. Of course it's running into an issue. Let me try again. Come on, Canva. Don't fail me now. I'm going to let it think and I'm going to show you the other way to make a mock-up because this is really, really cool. So this is an image that I took. Oh, here you go. And you can see it's in a video. So this is an image that I essentially just went to photos in Canva and I typed in like laptop and it was like one of the ones that came up. So I pulled it in here. Now, if we go back to mockups, you see at the very top, I'm selected into this image. There's this button. This is brand new. It says create mockup template. It doesn't work for every single image. If there's stuff in front of the laptop or the book or whatever you're trying to mock up, sometimes it can get a little wonky, but depending on the image, if it's suitable for a mock-up, you click generate. And what it's going to do is it's going to take the image out of the laptop and create a mock-up space for us to put whatever we want into it. And it thinks because it gives you a few different options so that you make sure the final is good, doesn't look wonky. So see this, like this is wonky. We want the girl gone. Like we do wanted the whole thing gone. So that wouldn't work. This one wouldn't work. But both of these look pretty good. I don't know if you can tell on this one, there's like a little area where it's not super clean, like the edge of the laptop. So I'm gonna pick the cleanest one, confirm, and then it converts it to a mock-up. And now you have a custom mock-up that nobody else has unless they create it. But you could use your own images for this. So you could, set your own laptop up in a cute corner of your house and take pictures of it and then upload them into Canva and make your own custom mock-ups for your brand that are cohesive and aesthetically aligned with your brand visual identity. Really cool, right? Image effects is another thing that I really use a ton. Um, this is just to show you like the different effects that you can use. Background remover is one that I use a ton. To use this, all you do is click whatever image you want to remove the background, and then the background remover button is right there. Just like that, piece of cake. And then once the background is removed, my favorite thing is to add a shadow because it just makes it look so much more like elevated and like there's like depth to it, if that makes sense. So all you do for that is you click the image, you click edit, and then down here there is a shadows button, and it gives you a bunch of different types of shadows. My favorite is the angled one. I just feel like it looks the most natural, or a drop shadow, which you can change the angle of the shadow depending on where you want it, how much blur you want to give the shadow. And then this outline tool is actually also technically a shadow. So if you've never been able to find how people get outlines on these cutouts, it's a shadow. And what you do is you click outline and then you can change the color of it. And you can change the thickness of it depending on if you want like a really thin outline or a thick outline. And then filter is another one. Also in edit. And you come down to the filter section, and then there's a bunch of built-in filters already in Canva. Pretty awesome. Text effects. I don't know if any of you have ever played around with text effects. These are just some examples of some. Same thing, you click on the text that you want to add effects to, you click the effects button, and then they're all listed right here. So these are just a few of the different examples. The curve one, you can change how curved you want it, what angle you want it to be. And then kerning and spacing is how you want the font or your copy to visually represent itself. So this is obviously the same font as all of these other pieces of text, but I can change the spacing of the lines. Let me move that down so you can see it better. You can change the spacing of the lines if you want them to be closer together. You can change the spacing of the actual letters. And then something else, sometimes fonts aren't exactly like, there's not exactly the same amount of space in between letters. It might be like a stylistic thing for the font. So if that is the case for whatever font you're working on, you can highlight it, and there's a new typography effect called kerning. I'm going to click this button. It's a very, very subtle, very, very subtle. Like you might not even notice it to the naked eye, but depending on what font you're using, it can really make a difference. But when you click it, did you see how everything kind of shifted a little bit? See what it's doing is it's bringing the ERNING closer to the K because the capital K has more space on the side of it. So it's really, without the kerning, that's not an even spacing between every single letter. Again, different fonts, you're going to notice it more than others, but just so that you guys know that all of these different text effects are available to you. Really quickly, I'm not going to get into all of them, but if you didn't know, Canva has a very extensive app library. So if you're over here on the left-hand side and you click apps, I have mockups typed, so it's not going to show them all. Apps. Your apps is going to show you the ones that you most recently used, but Discover is going to show you literally all of them. And you can keep scrolling and scrolling. Image upscaler, animating pictures, QR codes. This is like a narrating voice. Like there are so many different apps. So odds are, depending on what you need to do in Canva, there is an app that can help you do it, which is really cool. You could spend like hours on that. Lots of time. Browse at your own risk. Project sizing. This was another one that a lot of people had questions about because there are so many different platforms and different types of posts. And like, how do you know what size to be creating for different platforms? Well, we've got a little guide for you. I do have a downloadable PDF at the end of this too, that is essentially a quick guide that has all these different sizing for all these different platforms and exporting types and when to use them. But Marley mentioned earlier I think in the chat, that I helped her last year with her brand. And she came to me and was like, she didn't really have, Marley, you didn't really have a brand. Like you had an aesthetic for sure, but you didn't have a brand. So we did her logo, her brand fonts, her brand colors. And when all of that was said and done, I created basically a platform suite for her. So she had a Facebook header, a YouTube banner.
Hard to
Uh,
see, D. Wanna make it bigger?
yeah, actually, I think I can zoom in. Here we go. Let me make this full size. I don't know why it wasn't. There you go. So now every single platform, every Google form, every social media page that she has is properly branded, all cohesive, and everything is the right size. So you want to make sure like that on LinkedIn, you can see the way that the LinkedIn page is set up on a website. If there was text over here, you wouldn't be able to see it because Marley's profile would be covering it. And then it's not optimized for LinkedIn because if you're putting text on your LinkedIn banner, you probably are doing so for a reason and you want it to be able to be um, read and seen. So we go through all of the different platforms and make sure that we have different um, aspects, different assets for all the different aspects of these various platforms. So this is like a just a quick chart that will show you the different aspect ratios or file sizes, which you can always change the size by coming up here and clicking resize. And then you can see Canva actually has some built out like Instagram ad, Instagram story. They have built out sizing, but if you ever wanted to, you could just do a custom size and then you can actually type in whatever size you want, or you could resize to multiple different sizes from one asset. Canva also now lets you put different size pages in one project. Good Lord, was this a time saver because for example, for these master classes, we have an Instagram story, an Instagram reel, we have a flyer, we have the Eventbrite header, and we have the YouTube thumbnail. And they're all different sizes. And before, I would have to have 5 different projects that were all different sizes, and I would go in and basically edit them all to be formatted for the platform. But now they're all in one project, which is incredible.
I have a
Love,
question.
love that stuff.
So, you know how on Facebook, let's say, on the desktop, the banner, the header is going to look different on the desktop than it is on your phone. Is there
Yeah.
any way around that?
No, that's why you have to make sure that you're optimizing whatever the banner is for both. And really, the only way to do that is like trial and error, or even just by looking at LinkedIn, for example, on your phone and just noting like where, like if I go to my LinkedIn profile, you can just note like, okay, so my profile is going to cover a little bit of that image. So I know that I can't have anything really in like like I have copy that is cut off on mine.
Hmm.
I
Same
need to fix
on
mine.
my Facebook header.
Yeah. So you might just need to swap or move certain assets within the design so that it works for both.
Yeah,
I wish that you could upload like two different
I know.
ones, but it has to work for both. If you need any help with that, of course, you know where to
I'll
find me.
call you tomorrow.
Exporting was another really, really big one. And we are getting to the end of this, so we'll have like 10. I don't have a hard stop, so we can stay on and we'll have 10, 15 minutes for questions. Exporting, there is a number of different ways that you can export a project in Canva. Um, Images, JPEG, PNG, and SVG. It actually will tell you what they're best for. For example, the same image in a JPEG, JPG, is a smaller file size than a PNG because a PNG, it has more pixels. So it's like a more detailed, bigger asset, if you will, bigger file. So when you're building like a website, you want to be putting JPEGs on the website because it will help the website load faster versus if you load it up with complex images like PNGs. Um, MP4 video is just a video. A GIF is like an animated video, but it's not like everybody knows, I feel like, what a GIF is, just like a little looping, like a few frames. Um, PDF print and PDF standard are both PDFs. If you are exporting something to be printed, a magazine, a brochure, a newspaper, a digital ad or a print ad, what you want to do is click download. You want PDF print. And then down here, RGB, best for digital use. So if I was downloading it to put up on a website, I would do digital use. If I was downloading to print, I would want to print it in CMYK, which is a color profile that the printer recognizes so that it can print more accurate and rich colors. It's not going to like ruin your ad or your postcard or whatever it is if you don't save the file in CMYK, but it does make a difference. Like if you had two of them next to each other, you'd be like, this is clearly a better product. So that is a fun little fact. There also is the ability to share directly to social media because Canva has a built-in content calendar that a lot of people don't know about. I'll show you in a second. So you do have to log into your platforms through Canva to give Canva access to publish whatever the content is to the platform. And it also has different options if you want to save directly to a Dropbox, a Google Drive, or elsewhere if you have like a hard drive or something like that. Um, these different share options are more so for presenting, if you were sharing just like a view link, brand template, which takes whatever design you're working in and it makes a template link so that you can share it with other people and they can create their own asset, but it doesn't change yours because it's creating a totally new project with your template. So there's a lot of different ways that you can export. Does anyone have questions about exporting before I keep going? Okay. Planning your content. I already told you guys that I'm going to give you this content planner. There is a QR code on the last slide, but Canva does have a content calendar. So this is the content calendar. This is what it looks like in Canva. We don't use it at the moment, as you can see, but we absolutely could. I'm sure Kelsey is on here like, why am I not using this? But basically, you can add your projects right in here. So if you were to schedule an Instagram post, let's say I wanted to post this quote post that we made earlier. I'm going to select the channel. It's going to go on the Instagram account. Ours isn't connected. You would log in, connect it, and then it would put on the schedule. And whatever date you put it on, you could set it to auto publish or you could set it to remind you to go in and publish it. But this is a way that you could also visually plan out your calendar months. So that is pretty awesome that they have that. And I need to use it. I don't know why I don't. I use Monday.com to plan my content, but I should use this. Truthfully, it would be a lot easier. Okay, last slide before questions and I show you guys the assets. But I wanted to, in addition to give you the resources, I wanted to do something special for you guys. And I have literally not rolled this out to my social media, my audience, my community. Like, I haven't told anybody about it. This is the first. I am going to be offering an hour-long one-on-one strategy session with me that will come with a social media audit for one platform of your choice. It can be your Instagram, your TikTok, your YouTube, your LinkedIn, your website, so on and so forth. But basically, I will prepare the audit ahead of time. I will send you the PDF of the entire audit. Marley can tell you how incredible these audits are. Like, I love doing them. It's so
Oh,
fun.
so
Um, and then we'll go over it for like 10, 15 minutes on our one-on-one. And then you have 45 minutes with me to talk about content creating, using different trends for your brand, for your marketing, your website design. Maybe you're doing a print ad and you want me to help you consult on what that should look like. Literally anything within the realm of marketing, branding, design, things like that. Maybe you want to just sit with me and talk more about Canva for an hour. We can totally do that, or CapCut or anything. So the QR code is there. It's $99 for all of you guys. That is, you're grandfathered into this since you were here. And then it's going to be 24 hours and then the price is going to go up. But as long as you mention this masterclass, it's $99 for you. So I put that there and I hope I get a few of you guys because I love doing this stuff and I want to help you and it's just so fun. Okay, and last but not least, questions. And these are the two QR codes for the Canva content planner that's in Canva Sheets. And then this is a little PDF for just a guide about exporting, sizing, things like that for different platforms. So, questions? Wow, I can't believe I got through all that. I was a little nervous. I was like, this is a lot. Like, I need to be
You
quick.
did phenomenal. I am proud of you.
Thank you.
you got through it perfectly in time. I think that was incredible. I learned so much, and I feel like I already know so much from you. So I still learned more.
Yeah, I
Wow.
learned a lot more than I thought Canva was even. I thought I was using Canva decently. It turns out I have known
Yeah.
nothing about Canva.
It can be doing so much more for you than you probably ever realized.
Holy
And this isn't
cow.
even everything. Does
Does
anyone
anyone
have?
have any more questions?
How do you the 99 thing? How do you do this again?
So let me go back. It's a QR code, but I can send you out
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna message you on the
through
LinkedIn.
Calendly. So you can link, you can book right through Calendly. And I pretty much opened up like all day, every day, except Sundays. Because I do like to rest a little bit. Like sometimes, contrary to popular belief, sometimes I do rest. But yeah, let me know when works for you. I just need like a couple days in advance so that I have time to actually do the audit and prepare the PDF for you so that we can
I'm
review it.
scared.
Call.
I'm
But
ready.
what'd you say?
I said I'm scared for the audit, but I can take it.
No, don't be scared. Don't be scared. It's fun. I get very actionable, like these are things that you can do. These are trends that you can follow. These are
Oh,
different.
not a full-blown analysis of what I need to work on.
Oh, it is a
That too.
full blown, yeah. Like,
Okay,
uh,
okay.
It's helpful. It's not scary.
I
It's
do
like,
it
wow,
myself.
like
I mean,
you
I'm a Virgo. I've already have thought of this in myself.
G shows you what you couldn't see with your own eyes. It's like, right, everything is kind of like right there in front of you with your own content. She just kind of helps you put it all together in a nice, cohesive way. It's
Okay.
so helpful.
yes.
Oh, wait, what day? Wait, let me message.
Whenever. I've opened up my availability in Calendly, so you can pick whatever time slot works best for you. And yeah, I'm really excited. This is so much fun. Thank you guys all for being here, and I hope everybody learned something. And you're all going to be Canva wizards, and I can't wait to see all your content now.
Amazing. Thank you so much, G.
Thank you guys for being here. Any questions? Feel free to DM me. I love talking about this stuff if you can't tell. So I'm really grateful for you all. happy creating. Go forth and conquer. And I hope you all have a great rest of your week.
Bye.
Please add me on Instagram.
I
I
will.
did want to say the last thing I posted was from a Canva thing. The maybe my rap video thing. It's from a Canva, and in the master thing, you like added me on my like real estate collaborative thing, which was random, but it's not on the Queen of Hearts painting, but I'm gonna post in the Canva thing that I did, um, my inspiration, and then what came about it.
I love it. I can't wait to see it. Are you gonna post it today?
No, the thing that you liked yesterday.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That was from a Canva.
It was. Yes.
Mhm.
I have a question. Can you create email templates on Canva?
You can. There's a number of ways to do it. There are actually a number of like newsletter templates if you look through the templates in Canva. And what I've seen people do is save the newsletter as like an image and then put the image in the email to send out. You could also use it to do like an email signature, or if you want to do like an email header. The only thing that I will say, I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with like Flowdesk or MailChimp, like email marketing platforms. When you put an image in an email and send out a newsletter like that, you just can't track like if people are clicking certain links or things like if you have links in your email. Whereas if you use like a MailChimp, you can get all that data as far as like who's clicking on what, who's opening what email, things like that. But you definitely can. I would just save it as an image. Or I've seen people save it as a PDF and attach the PDF to the email and then email out like just a one-liner like, here's my May newsletter. Please see attached, like something like that. Or more
We
fun.
do my newsletters. We do my newsletter through Flowdesk or Publu. No, Publu.
Okay. Yep. So that has
I have a
yeah,
I have an
analytics.
ebook through, and it's a flip book through
Oh,
Publu.
oh, that's
And
cool.
it like turns pages,
That's really cool.
and it's like 20 a month. And then the Flow Desk I love because I can it's so easy to plug in. It looks very professional.
Yeah, I'm
As
gonna
a
check that out.
the monk thing, it was way too much for like as someone that doesn't know much about graphic design, it is overwhelming.
Yeah, this could be a much more simple option for you for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
Thank
that.
you.
You're
Okay.
welcome. I hope you guys all have a great night. And if you need anything, you need the links to anything, just shoot me a DM and we'll chat.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.